Hello, everyone, and welcome to an Atlantic League playoff game between Sarah Judd and Gabriel Panek. This is game one of a best of three playoff series in the first round of Atlantic League. The reason I have Gabriel leading 1-0 in the title is because they have already played game two. Gabriel won that game. That happened this morning. Unfortunately, we don't have the recording of that one. But this is game one. If Gabriel wins this one, then Gabriel will move on to face me in the next round. If Sarah wins this one, then they will face Gabriel next week for game three, and the winner of that game will move on to face me in the next round. I know Sarah's in the chat. Welcome, Sarah. I think Gabriel said he might join as well. I'm interested to see your take on my take of the moves that you made, and hope that other chatters will be along for the ride as we watch this one together. So we're going to be playing this one at double speed, and because this game was played with extended clocks with 90-minute clocks. So we're just going to go with double speed and hope that we can still get some good commentary in. We'll be watching from Gabriel's side today. Gabriel is the USSR on this one, and Sarah is the USA. Gabriel goes the standard setup with independent reds in hand, going one in Austria. That makes all the sense in the world. An interesting hand here, not great for Gabriel. Sock Govs is definitely a possibility. And De Gaulle a possibility as well if Sarah decides to go 3-3-2 or go with the Marshall setup. So we'll see what Gabriel wants to do here. Gabriel also with defectors in hand. This is a hand potentially to hold defectors, try and get it through the reshuffle. But we'll see what Gabriel wants to do here. Sarah decides to go 3-2-3. Okay, that indicates a Marshall headline, obviously. So we'll see if Gabriel wants to go. So De Gaulle is a very reasonable play here, but Sock Gov's reasonable as well. I might go Sock Govs if I were Gabriel, just to be annoying, because Sock Govs stays in the deck. De Gaulle is a one-shot deal. But Gabriel goes De Gaulle. I think that's a fine play as well, because that puts immediate pressure on Sarah in France. Sarah's got to right away put two ops into France on AR1, or Gabriel's going to get it. Assuming Gabriel just tries a coup here, which without duck and cover in hand, I think is the right play. Yep, Gabriel tries a two-op coup in Iran, misses cleanly. One thing I would note is that Sarah did not put a fourth into Italy. Instead filled up Canada, UK, West Germany, France, and then the three Mediterranean countries, but didn't get a fourth into Italy. That is interesting, because if Italy stays at 3, Gabriel could headline Sock Gov's next turn and take it. So I think maybe a mistake there by Sarah not to get a fourth one into Italy. We'll see. Okay, Sarah with duck and cover and immediately takes Europe domination. So Sarah probably relieved to have De Gaulle out of the deck. And Gabriel going to try another coup and miss again. Oh my goodness. So a couple of two-op coups, and Gabriel with absolutely nothing to show for it except for some mill-ops. And not only that, Sarah going to get France up to 5-1 here. So now France is overprotected with De Gaulle out. So Sarah in a great position in Europe. I would like to see them get that fourth in Italy by the end of the turn, though, especially with Sock Govs around. So Gabriel with U.S.-Japan, which he could use U.S.-Japan to take the South Korea-Japan trade, but I think I might just space it. Sock Govs, you might want to hold that to event next turn as the headline. So maybe you do space defectors and use U.S.-Japan or the other way around. And then he's got a couple of one-up plays. But yeah, not an auspicious start for Gabriel, particularly if Sarah has Europe scoring. Okay, Sarah with another 3-op play. 2 Egypt, 1 Malaysia makes all the sense in the world. Oh, and interesting, Gabriel takes presence in the Middle East and gives up on Sock Govs. So Sarah will not be punished for only having 3 in Italy. No doubt Sarah wants to take Thailand. As Gabriel has demonstrated, he has no access cards. Gabriel's hand quite terrible here. Sarah without a coup target, but they do need mill ops. Yeah, Jordan pointing out in the chat that taking Middle East presence, not necessarily an immediate need, but think it's probably fine to do. Oh, and Sarah going to give Nasser try the Nasser coup. Will they get a 5? Oh, they get a 6. A huge, huge roll that will paint the Middle East blue for the time being. That's a big roll. Also, a little bit of a risk there from Sarah. Trying the Nasser coup with Libya open. If you miss on that coup, you're probably losing Libya and Egypt and probably Middle East domination. So normally when I try the Nasser coup like that, I either like to get to Libya first before I do it, or I just, leave the 2 in Egypt because you need a 5 to clear out Gabriel. It doesn't really matter whether you have one in there. Because if you have one in there, whether you have one in there or not, Gabriel's immediately going to take Libya. But the roll works out very well for Sarah. So Sarah's going to set up without domination in the Middle East, but ahead in battlegrounds. Sarah also setting up a domination here in Asia. And Gabriel now with the opportunity to flip Pakistan with the China card if he wants to, but I don't think he wants to. With IP war unseen, CIA unseen, I don't think that's the best play. I think you hold on to China and hope you can maybe do something with the turn 2. Yep, and he decides to just go ahead and fill up South Korea and Afghanistan, getting U.S. Japan out of the deck. I don't mind that because you do need to take South Korea by the end of the turn. Otherwise, you just don't have the ops to do it. Okay, and Sarah goes, yeah, that is a tough 6. But Sarah really doesn't have anything to complain about right now in terms of rolls. Gabriel missing missing twice on the coups in Iran, and then Sarah rolling a 6 in Egypt. So Gabriel definitely deserved that 6. Truman, a good card to get out. That will kick him out of Austria, but because of de Gaulle, he has access to Italy anyway. Also, Algeria is sitting wide open, but Gabriel probably reticent to take it at the moment due to CIA, not wanting to activate CIA. So, I'd expect to see Sarah take Libya here. Oh, well, there's CIA, and Sarah will not be taking Libya. Yep, 1 Thailand makes sense. Okay, and here's Gabriel. Okay, Gabriel with some good stuff here. Not a lot of ops, but he's got decall, and then can use if he's brave enough to headline decall, which defectors is gone, so I think decall would be my headline here. He could use decall to flip Thailand and take an Asia domination. IP war also could be good. Now, if I were Sarah, I think I might headline. Oh, there's a purge. Okay, the purge not going to do a ton here against this hand, but it does because IP war will be an event blockade. UN already won ops, but it does save Thailand. So a very good play to kind of blunt the impact of the China card here. So that is an unfortunate headline for Gabriel, and now perhaps he's thinking about something different. So just uses China to stop domination by taking just 1 into Africa. Okay, it looks like just 1 into Africa. Sorry, folks, I wasn't able to download this video beforehand. It was a little bit too large. But so I'm currently streaming it. But okay, so Sarah with a choice now. They can coup and get their mill offs, but if they do that, they will be they're going to lose out on Angola and Zaire. Another interesting option is to realign Iraq. Sarah has a +1 realign on Iraq if they want it. Sarah also could simply coup Lebanon for domination. Oh, tries a coup with... I don't understand that. Okay. A little confused by that play to try a coup with Captured Nazi. Captured Nazi, a valuable headline, gets as a guaranteed 2 VPs. Um, so, but now, so Sarah gets the 1 mil op, but doesn't get the 2 VPs from Captured Nazi. And Gabriel will go into Angola first. Gabriel will definitely get his mil ops for sure. Because he has got not one but 2 war cards in his hand. And IP War is certainly a great event here. It's going to get him domination if he can roll a 5. Algeria is still sitting out there, and so I would expect to see Sarah take Libya or Algeria here on this play. Also could consider dumping Asia here. Gabriel now with 7 countries in Asia, so definitely Sarah definitely is not getting domination here. Yeah, Libya is good. Malaysia, boy, I really would have liked to see them go into Algeria, but Sarah's got time. Gabriel hits on the roll, so a 2 VP swing there from Sarah not playing the event of Captured Nazi. Really would like to see Sarah. Yeah, okay. Middle East scoring is fine. That gets you a nice 4 VPs. Gabriel now probably is going to try the war. He does not have the ops to take Algeria. Tries the war and does not get it. Rolls the 4, just 1 pip off of an Asia domination. Let's take Algeria. Let's take Algeria. Somebody take it. A 4th in Italy, also a priority for Sarah. A 3rd in Pakistan, definitely. Oh, and Sarah has Europe. So, okay. So Sarah with a couple scoring cards in her hand, excuse me. I'm sorry, Sarah uses they, them pronouns, and I accidentally used the wrong one. So sorry about that, Sarah. And yeah, so 2 scoring cards and a nice 9 VPs there for Sarah. I would be really worried at this stage if I'm Sarah about a Pakistan flip next turn. Although, no, of course, excuse me, China card already used. I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm sure someone. Yes, okay. Thank you, Peter, for pointing out that a 3rd in Pakistan less important with China in Sarah's hand. Gabriel goes with Blockade, hoping to draw out D-stall here. Let's see if he gets it. Sarah does take Algeria. And there goes D-stall, and there goes a big 4-out play. Oh, and okay, Sarah breaks North Korea in hopes of headlining Asia, and they get the scoring. Okay. Oh, an interesting play there, and wow, Gabriel does not draw anything to stop an Asia scoring headline. Other than that, oops, I forgot about that. So Gabriel needs a 5 here to stop this. Oh, and he gets the roll. Korean War. Heck of a draw there. He needed that roll, but a good gambit there from Sarah. Perhaps breaking India might have been better, but you never know. Okay, Gabriel selecting his coup target here. Takes a swing at Panama and clears Sarah out. Yep, Jordan saw that coming in the chat. So thank you for pointing that out, Jordan. Gabriel with no influence on the left side of the board. D-stall in the deck though. Gabriel at this point doesn't have a space card. Obviously, in a situation like this, when you have captured Nazi in hand, you're already at space 1. You like to space to get to space 2, and then only later, and then later event captured Nazi for the less likely roll and 2 VP. But Gabriel without a card that he wants to space, so he will probably just event captured Nazi here. Gabriel also will want to get his mill ops. VPs. So let's see if Sarah wants to go into Saharan states. Sarah needs to fill up Mexico. Might foray into Saharan states. Oh boy, purge. So some big cards here. Sarah takes South Africa. Might just see an Angola reflip. Nope, just going to fill up the Middle East. I think that's fine. So assessing the board here, this board looks. I would definitely rather be Sarah here than Gabriel on this board. Sarah ahead in Europe. The Middle East looks to be a draw, and Nasser's gone. Asia also a draw. Africa, Sarah slightly ahead, and then Central America, no red influence there, although D-stall's in the deck. Now, obviously, that can change in a heartbeat. When we see turn 4 hands. But for now, I definitely prefer Sarah's position. Sarah also holding the China card and likely to go into the mid-war with the VP track even. Yeah, Jordan pointing out correctly that India might have been a little bit better with Korean War unseen and IP war seen. So it could go either way. Because obviously, Korean War can only happen once, whereas IP War can come around up to twice more. Sarah spaces D-call, gets the roll, so Sarah actually will go into the into the mid-war with a VP lead. And there's Romanian. Not going to do a ton here, but potential for a Sock Govs flip of Italy that then gives domination immediately. It's also D-stall food if Gabriel's fortunate enough to draw it. Sarah gets CIA. And Gabriel going with Suez event. And again, if Gabriel had more access, the Suez event, not particularly strong there, but given that his access is pretty weak, and Sarah is the one with stuff to do with their ops, I like that play. So Sarah certainly will want to get 2 more into France. Although with Italy at 3, Sock Govs is going to be a problem for them regardless. Sarah would also, I'm sure, like to take Mexico. Okay, an interesting early war at this point. Sarah with a lead in Europe. Middle East and Asia are a draw. And then Africa looking more blue, and then Central America and South America are blank, which is of course, typical conventional wisdom that is advantage to the U.S. Sarah concedes Vietnam to fix up France, which makes sense. And here's a Q4 turn 4 hand. Oh, and Sock Govs is huge. Sock Govs especially paired with Duck and Cover to deny that coup of Angola. Also, no doubt, Gabriel happy to see puppets in his hand. He's going to want to get rid of that. And Alliance, which he can dump for 0. So I think this is a no-brainer Sock Govs headline here. Quag's nice, but Sock Govs much better here with Italy at 3. Yep. Okay. Sarah headlines a scoring card, and yeah, that was a mistake by Sarah on turn 1, not putting a 4th into Italy. And yeah, Sakos with duck and cover, that just really hurts there. Flipping over Italy, giving Europe domination to Gabriel, and denying the coup anyway. Now, it does give Sarah 3 VPs, which is not nothing. And so I expect we will see Sarah fix up West Germany to stop, which stops domination, and then maybe head into Mexico as well. Yeah, and flipping Angola probably also a priority for Gabriel, as the chat has pointed out. So conversely, getting a third into Angola probably a priority for Sarah. Okay, and Che, that's free. Okay, it takes Greece as well, just to prevent any other shenanigans. And Gabriel going to dump Alliance for free. Yep, and an Angola flip makes all the sense in the world there. So Gabriel here tentatively with double space. We'll see what Sarah... Sarah also headlined Southeast Asia scoring. Not a scoring that was likely to change dramatically throughout the course of the turn. So that suggests Sarah didn't really have anything else worth headlining. One small step would have been a great headline. Obviously the usual suspects, Grain, Junta. And here's Allende to get Gabriel into South America. So that's a big break for him. We'll see if Sarah has any events that can do anything about that. That's not an event that will do anything about that, but a good dump of the scoring there on turn 4. Okay, Angola flip evens out Africa. And just as I said at the top of the broadcast, things can turn in a hurry. And the flip of Italy, flip of Angola, and then Allende there, the board has shifted red. Sarah now is the one without a good region at this point. So they need to make some noise here. Sarah with Gabriel, again, tentatively with double space. He wants to space puppets, also wants to space Usuri, I'm sure. Although with the state of Asia and Southeast Asia scored, Usuri is not that bad here. So with North Korea at 4, South Korea at 6, India at 3, certainly you'll have to just fix up India. Yeah, okay. That's spacing puppets. Yeah, puppets absolutely, unequivocally, just ungivable there. Much worse than Usuri. Oh boy, another scoring card. So 3 scorings in hand for Sarah. Explains why they wanted to headline. One. And there goes Nuke subs. Gabriel hits on that one as well, and so here we are. Gabriel with headline peak. And but of course unable to space Grain, Voice, CRGs, and the like. So we'll see if that helps him or hurts him. I would really like to see Sarah get off to space here and stop the double space, but I think they would have done that last AR rather than let Gabriel double space. So I'm guessing Sarah doesn't. Well, okay. Well, Sarah misses on the roll, so it doesn't matter. But I would have spaced that before scoring central to try and stop double space. And Gabriel events, how I learned, has no way to get mill-ops in the traditional means. So events, how I learned, to try and keeps DEFCON 2 trying to get a couple of VPs. So you could see Sarah, perhaps in response, go to Saharan states, which would be my play. To try and goad Gabriel into giving mill-ops. Or you get Nigeria out of it. Now, Sarah will get neither because I suspect we will see a Quagmire play here on AR7 rather than just giving up Usuri, but we'll see. Fidel, okay. Just trying to try and realign Fidel and hits the roll. Wow. Okay, and here comes a Quagmire, and Sarah gives up libs to the Quagmire, so no harm, no foul there. Okay, 2 VPs for Gabriel. Gabriel gets Middle East scoring. Also gets Sadat, which is free at this point, but he gets CRGs, so that is not fun. Also happy to see one small step in his hand, I'm sure. Nixon, probably not a problem. Probably see that played AR1. CRGs will be quite annoying, though, unless it is held, but if you hold CRGs, you got to play OAS. This is a problem hand for Gabriel. Yep, and Kitchen active, Middle East is another VP for Sarah, and then Gabriel is going to throw them 2 more with Nixon, which is the right play, and miss on the coup. So all of a sudden, Sarah with a 7 VP lead. And Gabriel going to have to give up one of CRGs or OAS. Big 4-op play. Yeah, an Angola flip makes all the sense in the world, and Gabriel can't really do much about that. Gabriel could have evened up Middle East by going into Israel before scoring it, but I think he deduced that he would rather save his ops somewhere else, and since Sarah didn't have domination, just wanted to dump it for 1 since it was safe. Okay, here's 3. And Sarah's going to take domination. I expect we're going to see Gabriel go Saharan and Zimbabwe here. That's what that Algeria play sets up. Yep, and that's exactly what he's thinking about doing, but that does not stop domination. Yep, so now a 3-op play, taking 3 countries, will do that. Thinking about just the 2-op, save the 3. Okay, so if Sarah has the scoring, I would expect to see them drop it right here for a nice 5 VP. If they do not, I expect to see a coup. Sarah needs mill ups anyway. Oh, and Sarah dumps Africa scoring for 5. So just as I said, the board was turning. Sarah's scorings come. And so here we are, 12 VPs on Sarah's side of the ledger, and now only Europe unscored, which at the moment is a draw. Gabriel certainly at this point will take the opportunity to space use Surrey, I would think, to try and get those VPs, unless he wants to get the China card events out. Destall space. Sarah hits the roll, so double space is gone. Gabriel wants to space use Surrey. He hits the roll. Okay. So, Sarah with a 9 VP lead, and Gabriel with a pretty terrible hand here. He's got a guilt-free 3, but then he's going to have to give up one of these 2 really annoying cards. Now, CRG is less annoying now that Africa's scored. Okay, Sarah wants their mill ops. That makes sense. OPEC for the event for 2. I might like the 3 ops better than the 2 VPs. I maybe 1 Nigeria fill up Chile in case of VOA. I really wouldn't want to see VOA take out of Chile. Again, the region is scored, but so is everything except Europe. So I think I would have rather taken my 3 ops there. But okay, 2 VP is 2 VP, and obviously it might be a little bit early to be thinking about war games. Also, the chat mentioning, yes, chat mentioned Italy. And so Sarah jams Italy with the China card. And a great play there, perhaps sensing some weakness in Gabriel's hand. That's a great play by Sarah. Yeah, Italy, one of those countries that just needs to be overprotected by whoever has it, especially by the U.S., but by the USSR as well. Yep. Yep. Gabriel talking about his lack of four ops. Oh, interesting. So Sarah just uses CRG to reinforce their own position rather than doing something like Nigeria Zaire, which is what I would have done to try and make life difficult for Gabriel. But okay, yeah, and Sarah pours all four into Italy and takes it. So a great play, great read there from Sarah. Now, seeing this hand, I think Sarah would be perhaps a little bit not irritated, but disappointed that they gave up the China card. Perhaps not. I don't think it's fair to say that Gabriel would be happy to trade Italy to get the China card with this hand, but this is going to be a problem for him. He's got grain and voice, so probably his hope will be he will probably play China and hold both cards through the reshuffle would be my guess. So he's going to have plenty of ops here. Also, I may be missing something here, but I don't think we've seen Junta. I don't think we've seen Brush. I don't think we've seen ABM. Yep, and Peter points out get a space off so you don't have to hold. But are you going to space NATO? I guess you can space NATO. Okay, Bear Trap, very helpful for Gabriel. That's a sigh of relief for him. So yeah, he's certainly happy to see that get rid of grain sales guilt free. And now Sarah will get a coup here. Presumably Zaire. My coup here would be Zaire. Set up the realigns on Angola, which Gabriel will certainly take back. But I would coup Zaire here. But yeah, no mid-war power card seen yet, and Sarah gonna go Nigeria. Okay, well it works out well for them because they rolled just a 2. So a better roll there, Zaire is better. But with that terrible roll, Nigeria works out. And so the battleground count now still 3-2 in favor of blue in Africa. Interesting. Gabriel decides to fill up Chile, even though he's got VOA in his hand. South America squad. I would have thought that might be able to wait an AR. I think I would have rather gotten a second in Angola, but or a 7th in Angola rather. Europe, the only unscored region, could be in Sarah's hand here. Otherwise, we'll see it obviously on turn 7. Also, have not seen Kennedy either. We have seen We Will Bury You, Quagmire, OPEC, Che, Muslim in Gabriel's hand. Panama Canal unseen at this point. Camp David unseen. Camp David not a huge event at this particular stage, but it's a VP, which is always nice. And Flower Power is in effect, so canceling out AI War is not nothing either. I would like to see Sarah right now put one into Nigeria. We definitely need to see Nigeria overprotected. Lao also important, perhaps for Sarah, for brush protection on Thailand. Okay, cultural. Oh, well, a coup of Cameroon is fine too. Okay, and there goes cultural. Yep, and Gabriel pointing out that he assumed Sarah didn't have it because he thought Sarah would use that on AR1, knowing about China. Okay, so Gabriel decides to flip Pakistan, and with that, Asia Dom also flipped. So, you just want to overprotect those Asian battlegrounds, particularly the two stabs, Pakistan and Thailand. And now both Pakistan and India protected to the fullest here from IP war. Both need a 6 to flip. So that does reshape Asia. But now cultural gone. Usuri still around, Nixon gone, and China card in Sarah's hands. If I were Sarah and I didn't have brush war in hand, Lao would be a priority for me for sure. And if I did have brush, okay, there's defectors. Useless right now with Gabriel having headline peak. And Sarah, this time, make no mistake, does get that that double over protection into Italy. Gabriel spaces NATO, 100% correct play. And is going to hold both VOA and OAS into next turn with no China. But at least he does not have to hold grain. Okay. Oh, and interestingly, Sarah flips Indonesia to try and stop Dom on country count. So country count in Asia now 7-7. Taiwan's sitting there available. Cambridge 5. So that's a break for Gabriel with no Europe scoring around. So Europe scoring does not come out. And, a good play there. It's not something I noticed, but a very good play there from Gabriel to knock out of Libya and Egypt. Normally not that great an event when the USSR has nothing in either of those countries, but in that case, the US had no access there. But Sarah does have Camp David, events it immediately. So perhaps strategic there, just waiting to see if Muslims showed up. And Gabriel, unfortunately for him, does not have the ops to take either of those countries. So he can put 2 into Egypt, get access to Libya, put a little bit of pressure on here, which I think is exactly what I'd do. But Sarah can take Libya. I think Gabriel's fine if he just gets one of those 2 countries. Oh, yep, and yes, obviously has to overprotect Pakistan as well. Yeah, I like this play from Gabriel. So let's see if Sarah's got a 2-up. I don't think we've seen Brezhnev yet, so maybe we'll see Brezhnev here. So yeah, U2 incident is fine too. Yep, you know what? With Nasser gone, Nasser and Sadat both gone, Egypt is more important than Libya. Yeah, good play. Okay, and here is some stuff. Gunman in Gabriel's hand. I'm sure he's disappointed to see that, but he does get Salt. Gets Brezhnev, gets both wars, gets IP war and brush war. With Korean war and AI war now out of the game. So with flower power in effect, perhaps Gabriel disappointed to see that, but he does get brush. What is Gabriel's brush target likely to be? It doesn't have a lot of great ones. Iran sticks out, obviously, as a good target. Egypt sticks out. But other than that, Mexico is a coin flip. Everything else needs at least a 5. And there's ABM and Junta also in Sarah's hand as well. But Sarah knows about missile envy too. And that is a good point from Jordan in the chat saying you got to hold on to brush here and wait for Sarah to play Junta to get into South America. So we might see a little game of chicken there. Now Gabriel, it's turn 7. Gabriel probably knows. Gabriel, I believe, knows most of Sarah's hand, if not all of it. So he'll know what he's going to get. Have an idea at least of what he's going to get with missile envy. Could also just headline Gunman here. Okay, gonna go with missile envy. Force Sarah to just play 2 ops, and you could try and hold on to Gunman. But if you do, you have to give voice and OAS, which is not great. Well, you have to give one of them because you have Salt in your hand. Brezhnev could have been interesting, could let you space voice and then potentially discard OAS. So let's see what we get with missile envy. But Brezhnev, I think, would have been a nice headline there. Yes, and Peter mentions Panama Canal, which I mentioned last turn, is out there in South America. So Gabriel knows what he's getting here with Missile Envy. Wonder if we'll see a mid-turn Brezhnev to get rid of Voice. The problem is that helps you get rid of Voice and helps you mitigate OAS, but it doesn't do a ton for the rest of your cards. Brush is an event, so you get one for IP War, one for Gunman, one for Portuguese. Salt's probably an event, so just a 4-op Brezhnev, not too bad. Trading 3 ops for 4. Yeah, maybe should have been Brezhnev or Space VOA. Yeah, I agree with you, Gabriel. Oh, and a huge flip of Pakistan there with ABM. Oh, and pulls nothing. Yep, arms race is blank. Obviously, that would have been... obviously, arms race... Sarah would have been able to get arms race off here. So that's not nothing. But still, probably not what Gabriel was looking for. Okay, so here we are. And Gabriel uses Salt for a coup. Might have considered the Salt event. Okay, and wow. So flips over Nigeria with the coup, but Sarah looks like they are going to flip it right back with a realign. Folks, it's a little bit early for this, but Gabriel is in big trouble here. South America is obviously a good region for Gabriel here, but Panama Canal is out there, and Junta is in both Panama Canal and Junta in Sarah's hand. Now, obviously, Gabriel holding on to Brush War, waiting to potentially transform South America with it, I think. But at this point, and then also at this point, Sarah needs to retake Libya for sure. Also needs to dump Europe scoring for a nice domination. Yep, and there's Junta. Okay, yep, going to go into Brazil. Try the miracle realigns, of course, doesn't work. And here's Brush. Yep, okay. So, yeah, I think I would have liked to see Sarah play Panama. So Sarah knew or should have known about Brush. I would like to see Sarah play Panama first. Yeah, and now Gabriel can simply take Venezuela with Brezhnev and get South America control. Yeah, and so if Sarah had gone Panama first, Gabriel could have brushed there, but if he hits the roll, then Sarah can counter with Junta, and then get Brazil and potentially realign Venezuela. If Gabriel does not brush there, then Sarah can fill up both, and then Gabriel will brush, and then Junta can potentially realign. So I think a little bit of a misplay there from Sarah, but we will see. But Gabriel, Gabriel does not take Venezuela. Okay, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So Sarah, it ends up just the same as it would have regardless, because Sarah will get Venezuela here. Gabriel events Brezhnev to Space Voice. Yep, and then Gunman will take domination. So it will still, even though Brezhnev was not invented till AR4, still get a 3-op Brezhnev, and you're able to get rid of Voice. In fact, I actually might hold IP War here. We'll see what Gabriel wants to do, but I might hold IP War here and use Brezhnev to get rid of OAS, because OAS is pretty harmless when it's under Brezhnev as well. Yep, and Sarah. So Sarah needs to get into Nigeria. I believe Sarah also has Europe scoring. So and it's a known scoring card. I believe. And having known scoring cards, even good scoring cards, is can be a liability in your hand. So if I'm Sarah, I think I'm dumping it here. Oh, okay. Gonna go for the Pope, try and steal an extra VP. Good play. And yeah, certainly Gabriel does not want to deal with that. Good play to go for the Pope before Europe scored. And Sarah, I'm sure, very happy to see IP War gone. And there's Europe for a nice 5 VP. But yeah, Gabriel here is in big trouble. He's down 11 VPs. Gunman is out of the deck, and Sarah not in Cuba, so Ortega not an issue. Gabriel's only good region on the board at the moment is South America, while Sarah has dominations in Europe and is ahead battlegrounds in Central America. Africa, soon to be Africa, and soon to be Middle East. Two ops will fix that, and I assume we'll see those two ops right here. Gabriel asking if it's good not to score a domination in an entire game. Yes, Gabriel, unfortunately, I would say that is not good. Okay, I don't understand shuttle event there. I would have rather just simply taken the battleground. Okay, shuttle does help in Asia, but we're ahead enough at this point. I would have liked to see just take Libya, take Nigeria, which sets up actual dominations. Or well, Libya doesn't, which is secure those countries. But okay, I understand shuttle event, and it looks great if Sarah draws Asia right here. Also, forgot to mention, of course, but Gabriel. I mentioned Gabriel could get rid of OAS pretty painlessly, but he hits the space roll so that he can then just discard it, which is even more painful. Even more painless, I should say. And yeah, it looks like Sarah's about to get punished for not filling up Nigeria. I would have liked to see Libya and Nigeria filled there, and now Decall is going to snipe it. So we will see how Sarah wants to play this. Bert the Turtle, an obvious space candidate. Usuri, going to be potentially annoying. Iron Lady, not an issue. Gabriel probably disappointed to see Ortega in his hand, because once Sarah sees that, they will probably just fill up Cuba. But this seems like, okay, Iran-Iraq war under flower power. We will bury you for VPs. Okay, yeah, we will bury you for VPs. I don't mind this, because this gets Sarah under the War Games threshold. So that'll be 3 VPs where we will bury you, assuming we don't see UN, and then another 2 VPs for flower power, assuming Sarah does not miss this war. Does not hit this war, rather. Oh, and Sarah hits the roll, which means Gabriel has to space immediately. He does. He hits the roll. So Sarah out of War Games territory. Unless, of course, they have UN. Sarah needs to take Nigeria and Libya here. Oh, and that is got to be annoying if you're Gabriel. Yep, and a great play there from Sarah, just taking Nigeria, taking Libya, and Gabriel has to be frustrated by that, no question about it. And nothing more Gabriel can do to get VPs. Yeah, that's very disappointing. Now Sarah can win the game if they have War Games here. But even if they don't have War Games here, the board just looks so overwhelmingly in favor of Sarah. Also, all 3 power cards are gone. So, not a lot coming back here for Gabriel to make an impact on this board. Yeah, Teardown wasn't going to do a ton. Gabriel now can only space 4 ops, so interesting sub-game here, potentially, to see if Gabriel can get to Space Station. And Gabriel maybe was holding out hope for a War Games win. Down 4 VPs instead of 7. You get a big coup on Venezuela. You get a scoring off. Maybe you get a couple from OPEC. You get your scoring off in South America. Potentially get yourself up to 6 VPs, but now there's just no chance of that. There's no path to War Games here for Gabriel. And Libs going to space. Sarah misses on the roll. They're probably not too upset about that. Like to see Sarah get a third into Nigeria. At this point, Sarah is so far ahead on this board. I would like to see Sarah start overprotecting things. Solidarity is quite a strong event too, and Gabriel without a good response. Okay, Sarah here with an 8 VP lead. Asia is showing up as a domination. Oh, wow, going to use China. Very surprised to see that. Using a China card like that when so far ahead, but perhaps Sarah has something in her, has a couple cards in her hand that they really want to hold. Very surprised to see a China card used there. Okay, and Sarah putting ops into Poland. Warsaw is around, so that is something to keep in mind. Warsaw is in the deck, and Gabriel is ignoring that just at this point, so far behind. He's just going to hope that Sarah puts a bunch of ops into Poland and that Warsaw comes. And with Ortega gone, Sarah can now fill Cuba, which is something I would strongly consider doing here to take Central America control. Junta and Libs are both gone. Not a lot around for Gabriel to disrupt that. Sarah's still thinking about their AR7 play here. Yep, just going to go 2 in Poland. I think that's fine. There goes Usuri. Let's see if Gabriel gets a 4-op to space. I'd like to see Gabriel draw Cal here. Yes, he gets it, and so he will have an opportunity to space. Yep. Thank you, Gabriel. Glad you're thinking exactly as I am. Gabriel will now have an opportunity to hit Space Station. And now terrorism in Gabriel's hand. So that's certainly, oh, grain. So annoying. Yeah, I think terrorism is maybe it's South African. Okay, puppets. I think I might have gone South African to stop domination in Africa. But I think we're probably just seeing an Angola coup anyway. I don't think puppets is that great. Yeah, I think I would like South African, but okay. Terrorism, and there goes Star Wars. Okay, well, that's just a useless 2-op. Africa now looking very bad. So South African event makes sense. But no, you have to space here. Have to space. And Gabriel. Oh, Gabriel misses on the roll. And there's Asia with the shuttle-aided domination. So that's a nice 5 EP shuttle. Yeah. And Gabriel realizes that this one is over. No DEFCON possibility here. Even after that flip of Nigeria, Africa still looks bad. He's going to have to give these points. Gabriel may not even make it to final here. depending on what scorings might be in Sarah's hand. Obviously, Middle East would be 4. Central could be 8. Sarah fills up Cuba, and South America will be a domination for Gabriel if it comes back around. Yeah, Gabriel saying correctly that the South African would have been a better headline than terrorism, but at this point the game is pretty much over. Okay, Glasnost for a coup in Brazil. Oh, and there goes Gabriel's last good region. Yeah, no reason not to do it. Yeah, Sarah at this point just being a jerk to Gabriel. Sarah and Gabriel it's also worth pointing out they are teammates in the U.S. Cup. There will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Both are now overprotected. Latin American debt crisis could be potentially interesting. If Sarah discards, they will miss an AR. But if Sarah does not discard, they can simply fix this with a 2-up. Sarah also hasn't spaced yet, so could potentially have something like Reformer in hand that they would be happy to discard. Yep, I totally agree with you, Sarah. I really enjoy the team games. I'm actually, and I'm going to use that as an opportunity to plug tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Team USA will play a team game against Team Spain. Hardy Flores, Ani Palmer, and crew will be taking them on. I am joined by Michael Stryker and Ryan Pindelik, 2 of the very best American players in the game right now. As we will look to improve to 2-0 in group play. In the group of death, we have a win against Taiwan, but we will also need to. We're also going to need to beat at least one of Poland and Spain if we want to get to the next round. So it should be a fun one. Hope you'll join me for that. On Sunday, Team USA will play against Poland. I will not be on hand for that one. It is the first Sunday of the NFL regular season, so I have other commitments. But Sunday at noon Eastern, join Craig over there on his channel, Cassius Gaming, and he will have that one for you with commentary. And Michael and Ryan will be playing in that one as well. So I hope you'll join over there for that one. Gabriel at this point just going to try and stop domination. He does. We'll see if Sarah takes it back. Sarah just needs 1-up here. 1-up in Zimbabwe will take Dom back. Gabriel also needs mill-ops, which he is not going to get. Just a 1-op play into Zimbabwe, or potentially might see a coup of Botswana to try and break it. Either would be fine. Peter pointing out that Gabriel needs Sarah to have a held scoring card. Unfortunately, if you're going to hold a scoring card, playing terrorism is not a good way to accomplish that. Okay, Sarah gonna go. Yep, that makes all the sense in the world. A good play from Sarah. Gabriel has to give up the scoring for 4. 2 more on top for the mill-ops, and let us see what Sarah has left in their hand. Sarah with 13 minutes left to play this one card along with turn 10, so plenty of time. And there's Kennedy to fill Cuba. Makes sense. Here we are. Gabriel going to draw Central America scoring, and CIA as a special treat. So I would not. He does get Warsaw, so he will get Poland back. Does get Muslim, and none of this. It's all over. It's all over for the crying, but the crying folks. But there's some fun events here. Okay, and there's Middle East, and Muslim is going to flip that right over. So no domination for you, Sarah. SockGov's going to try a coup in Mexico. Makes sense. Gabriel needs a 5 here. Does not get it. And Gabriel, I'm sure, upset. Oh, there's War Games. Okay. Well, Sarah gets the victory. So congratulations, Sarah. Game 1 belongs to Sarah. Game 2, played just this morning, went to Gabriel. So we will get Game 3. And look forward to streaming that one as well. I think they're going to, at least one of the two will try and record that one, send it over, and I'll plan to comment on that one next week. And then, of course, after that one, I will be playing the winner of that game. So hope that you will join for that one. But thank you everybody for watching. This was an interesting one. Thank you especially to Gabriel and to Sarah for joining and defending their moves in the chat and engaging with the commenters. Looks like we had about 7 or 8 viewers today, so appreciate you tuning in. That's going to do it for Twilight Struggle. We'll be back tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern. For our game against Team Spain. You won't want to miss that one. But until next time, this is Justin Abramson signing off. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.